So this has to sum up the Mavericks season, right, guys?
I mean, that's awful.
So brutal.
Wow. He went for it, though. Like you said, he went for it.
He just let it all hang out and
fell a little short.
He let it all something. That's not good. And at the end of the game, like, it's not, no. Do you remember your most embarrassing almost dunk in the NBA?
yes,
Do you want to share it with America?
it was Sprite commercial. I got hung and, I ran back the other way and I acted like I lost the ball. It was a little slippery.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to
Okay.
it.
I had some blunders on the 8-foot hoop back in the day.
Oh, come on.
I can't relate to this discussion.
We're going to get old video of Zach Lowe. By the way, I should introduce everyone. Welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols, 2011 NBA champ. Ron Butler is with us.
Appreciate it.
NBA insider Zach Lowe making his West Coast sojourn.
Yeah.
Welcome. Apparently also your high school hijinks. We're going to have to get those on film at some point. We have people for this. All right, guys. The weekend started with Mark Cuban restating that Russell Westbrook is not a superstar. Cuban says his definition of superstar solely rests on how many games a player's team wins and how deep that player can single-handedly, mind you, take his team into the playoffs. Not about the numbers that player puts up along the way, Cuban says. Look, at this point, Mark is clearly just being stubborn. There's no arguing over whether Russell Westbrook is a superstar. But while he didn't use the same language, the person who most closely echoed Cuban's overall sentiments as this weekend unfolded was actually Russell Westbrook. Last night, when asked about the possibility of winning MVP, Russ said, quote, "I don't care, honestly. A championship is always the most important thing to me." So like Cuban, Russ is saying he's valuing wins over stats, and I don't think there's any basketball fan that's going to be disappointed in that, I mean, me included. But I do hate this sports radio-style, title or bust sentiment that has infected the NBA in recent years. I am still going to insist winning 73 games in one season is a thing, a big thing, even though Golden State didn't end up winning the title. Well, let's look at the team that beat the Warriors over the weekend. There were a lot of calls this past couple years for the Grizzlies to blow up their team and start over, because despite one of the league's longest playoff streaks, they clearly weren't in a position to win the title. Guess what? Still not in a position to win the title down in Memphis, and they're still doing impressive stuff that's energized both their teams and the fans. Well, the same goes for Russ and the Thunder. I'm sorry, but Oklahoma City, not likely to win the championship this year. But take a look at what Russ still did last night against the Celtics. He tied up the game with first the slap of this rebound, and then he finishes when he gets the ball back down the court. He hit the game-winner lefty, splitting 4 defenders. Then he handles the jump ball perfectly to help seal things. That's, superstar stuff, and it's meaningful stuff. Even if Russ and Mark Cuban have their focus on the end of the season, I gotta tell you guys, I don't. What about you? Do you guys feel championship, that's it, that's all that matters? Have you seen that rise in the league over the recent years?
I have seen that in the discussion. Is just like KD going to Golden State. He's going because he want to secure a championship, and that's his best chance. But everybody, happened him forward and gave him hell. But at the same time, you look at Russ and what he's doing out there. I don't think it's championship or bust. I think he is a superstar. Me and Mark can agree to disagree. And he's performing at an unbelievable pace. And right now, he's top 2 for MVP race right now.
So, Cuban said 50 wins? They're on pace for 51.
Right.
So he's doing fine so far.
Which is a little better than the Mavericks.
They're just a little bit. They're a total disaster when he's on the bench, and they're really good when he's in the game. He's a superstar. This whole title or bust thing, just stop. Single-handedly, who single-handedly ever did anything in the NBA? Dirk didn't single-handedly win the title for the 2011 Mavs.
Right. Memphis, and whether they should stop or start or what they
Memphis
should do.
is awesome. Marc Gasol, my favorite player in the league, just won Player of the Week. They're great. But I don't know why we do this. I mean, we don't. When players retire, that sort of fades, right? No one sees John Stockton on the streets and you didn't win a title, you stink. Title or bust. Nobody does that to John Stockton.
I think we embrace and respect the legacy of the greats, and Russ is on the pace of being a great player.
Last night, the Lakers fell to the Knicks. Their 6th straight loss. LA hasn't been above 500 since the...
Gotta have high expectations going in when you got a young nucleus and a young core. And a new coach, trying to change the energy around there, post Kobe. You want to, have some momentum going forward, and you want them to think win, win, win. But
they're fine. They were 10-10. They were outperforming.
He looked decent. I could see the Lakers win tonight. And I felt like you could see it on some of the players' faces that all of a sudden they weren't just out there having fun. They
Other things in mind, but it'll be a great chance.
They'll be fun. Lakers are fun. This is all gravy going forward. And they're only 3 games out of the playoffs. It's not that far.
well,
Not super concerned.
Carmelo Anthony told our Ramona Shelburne that he is, quote, skeptical of something getting done and that it would take, quote, a miracle to happen. Now, other sources have been more optimistic, but ESPN's Mark Stein reports the issue is licensing, the use of player likenesses. Zach, how concerned are you about all this?
Not super concerned. The opt-out date is December 15th, so it's coming up, but that's sort of a fake deadline, right? It's not a real deadline. They can still negotiate after that. I just have a hard time believing that a year of optimism and like almost to the finish line progress is going to be undone by what's not a tiny issue, but it's not a big issue. It's a solvable issue, and everyone is still like at least cautiously optimistic. Everyone involved in the process, so I'm not that worried.
How to play negotiations. Once you rip the whole thing up,
I think the game is at an all-time high right now.
James Harden is mean. He knows Marcus Morris faces an impossible big man onto him, and Chef Harden is cooking. Houston went all in on him by ditching Dwight Howard's sad post-ups and building a lethal spread pick and roll attack tailor-made for its leftover super.
did you call him the best point guard in the NBA right now?
It's a tricky question. He doesn't defend point guards, so does he count as a point guard? But offensively, he's playing point guard, so we're going to count him. I think this season he's been the best point guard in the NBA by like a hair over CP and Steph and Russ. Like all those guys are super duper close through 25 games. I think Harden's been by a tiny margin the best of them.
Did you see Chris Paul 2020 game with 0 turnovers and the way he controlled that whole game? I think that was one of the most impressive stat lines of all season. But I agree with you. James Harden is James Harden is balling right now. He's distributing the ball and his player usage. I mean, he's been amazing. And I talked to Gilbert about it this summer, Gilbert Arenas, and I said, what player right now active reminds you most of yourself? And he said, James Harden. I would have thought Dame Dot
Right.
or Steph Curry with the shots and turning around, but he said James Harden.
That's pretty good. And he's engaged. Well, I mean, you played with James. He needs to be mentally engaged to be able to, the defense, to be able to do all the other parts of the game. And you can tell that he's having so much fun in this offense that he is more engaged in the defense. He's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But the fact that he seems to be paying attention more often, he's not letting guys walk by him in the same way that they did last year. You have to at least give him some credit for improvement there. I mean, we certainly gave him a hard time last season.
Yeah, James Harden can be a good defensive player. At the he has to carry such a huge load. He's doing everything on offense. It's hard to do both. He's just got to be average.